Addicted MMA here today with UFC behind-the-scenes legend Burt Watson. Burt, we want to talk a little bit about your job. It's an extremely unique job. How did it come about?
I originally started in boxing as a coordinator for boxing events, kind of just to bridge a gap between promoter and fighter, and just thought it was something that I wanted to do or something that was needed, you know. And not that I sat down and wrote out a game plan, you know, or had a dream. It happened that way because I didn't want to get out of boxing and I wanted to stay in the sport. And that was my way to stay in the sport and have a job. And I did that. And it just, you know, I did that for a few years. And eventually, you know, I had a chance meeting with Dana White, who at that time, you know, impressed me as a person, you know, because it was done on a handshake. You know, it was a handshake. And me saying, I'm ready to work, you know, because that's what I did. And that was 13 years ago.
Of course, those early days of the UFC were very intriguing. The sport was going through big changes. And then you sort of came in. You have a variety of roles, really. You motivate the fighters. I suppose the major factor is looking after them. I know you don't like to name names and things like that, but you must have had some pretty strange requests over the years. Do any stick out to you?
Probably none I can say on the air, but I will say that you know, I have a thing where when I see the fighters and I bring them in during the week, I talk to them. And I tell them, whatever it is, if it's up here, I want it right here. If it's in here, especially if it's in here, I want it here. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. We talk about everything. And believe me, they do come to me with everything. I've had some things or some requests for certain things, but that was just me saying to take all the little ancillary things off your head. Get rid of them. Concentrate on your fight and whatever it is to motivate you to fight like you have to, because everybody here can fight. Everybody at this level can fight. So, you know, I do and I did whatever I thought or felt naturally would motivate them to a point of not thinking about being homesick, being away from home, traveling, you know, the room not being the right temperature, or, you know, they left their mouthpiece or their cup in the car. Just, you know, little ancillary things that professional athletes can take and make an issue, and it's not really an issue. But that happens.
So nothing Britney Spears level, like 50,000 green fruit pastels in a bowl?
All of them. But I can't name names. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You got little things that guys, you know, guys like to come in the room a certain way or leave the room a certain way. Or don't like another person's energy, you know, or just little things that, you know. And I've gotten to a point with these guys where they don't have to say it. I can go in a room and get a look and know that something in that room is not right, or somebody in there is not right, or their mood or attitude is not right. So, you know, but I try to make sure that 60 to 70% of that is done before they get into the dressing room. Because if there's somebody in the dressing room that night and there's something there that he doesn't like, you know, he won't go in there.
You got to fix it.
Without a doubt.
So of course you see the sport from a completely different angle. You get to see all the nitty-gritty going on. You get to see all the traditions and the little things the fighters like to do. Do you have anything that you know, a route that you like to take on a working day?
I like to get as much me time as I can because, you know, I go to bed early. 8, 9. If I can get to bed at 6 o'clock, I'd be in bed at 6. But I get up early. You know, I get up early and I start that wheel. I start that whole thought process because everything we do is a process. and the process starts when I start. So, you know, I try to get my me time and just kind of rest, 100% rest. And I would tell anybody, you take care of your body and your mind, and it'll take care of you. So I get as much rest as I can, because once I get going, you know, it's like when that bell rings, you can't just say, I'll wait till the next round. You better get that done.
You're loved by the fighters. Across the board, the fighters love you. They have three things they normally say if they're asked about Burt Watson. They say he's the man, or they do an impression of you, or they just say without Burt in the UFC, it wouldn't be the same. You know, it's quite an intriguing thing, but without names, do you actually have people on your Christmas list? Do you look out for any of these guys? Do you get emotionally attached if they get hurt in a fight, or do sometimes you jump on the inside if one wins?
I am emotionally attached to all of them. I'm amazed how, I mean, I have love for all of the guys, all of the fighters, all the trainers, you know, because they all show me love by showing me respect, because they do, and I can't help but give it back. Now, you know, every now and then, you know, I'm pushing and somebody's pulling, you know, or I'm saying one thing and they're trying to say another, and that happens. But out of respect of getting it done at the end of the day, you know, one of us backs off. You know, I don't usually back down too much, but somebody has to back down. And yes, I mean, they're professional athletes, and what they do is intense. So you're going to have attitudes and temperaments and, you know, no thinking. You know, you're going to have that. That happens when a guy's getting ready to step into a cage and he has to flip the switch to something else to get a job done. And I understand that, and I give them their space, and I back off, you know. But when it's over, the toughest thing is to comfort a loser. You know, that's not easy, man. You know, especially when I'm with them all week, baby. That is not easy at all. But I have to figure out how to do it without deflating him anymore, or without taking that energy level down any more than it already is. You know, and I just let them know, I'll be here when you get back.
I guess that's the best way to be a friend, I suppose. But something that's intrigued me about you is, obviously, you're this big cog in the mechanism of things for the show, how it works. But when you're not actually here, what does Burt Watson do in his spare time?
I can't remember the last time I wasn't here. You know, when I'm not working, I rest. When I'm not working, I'm unrest. I'm not at peace. You know, and we have such a pace right now that it goes 3 a week, a month or so. And I've kind of gotten used to that, and it's become a part of my life. I'm fortunate now that I'm at an age where all my children are grown. I have grandchildren. It's important for me to be home at Christmas, you know, and being able to talk to them on their birthday. But as long as I can get that quiet downtime and rest, and I keep saying rest, because I say that to the fighters all the time. Whatever you do, rest your body and your mind first. Then you can do whatever you want to with the rest of it, because they're going to do their little stuff. They're young men, you know.
Well, we're not going to hold you up too long, Burt, because obviously we know you're a very, very busy man. But we do like to finish our interviews with the same question. Outside of martial arts, what are you addicted to?
Work.
Work?
Work and getting it done.
That's a great answer. Thank you once again for your time, Burt. It's been fantastic.
I appreciate it, baby.